So all of this very positive, very positive energy is available to us. And yes, the highest of the highest, most positive energy is available to us every second and millisecond of every single day. And also during these high, celestial, you could say celestial events, um, there's just more bang for the buck. Period. There's an opportunity there. But the most positive, spectacular, extraordinary, infinite energy, most prosperous, most abundant, an opportunity to make a change and a shift in yourself, in your life, major impact. Okay. So that's why we just like to do extra stuff around this time. And it doesn't mean when I say do extra stuff, it doesn't mean you have to, like, if you don't practice or do sadhana every day or do this meditation every single day, that you're not going to get the energy. Okay, that's fear mongering right there. Okay. I've had plenty of equinoxes and solstices where some family event, some business event, something, traveling, like whatever, something was going on where I couldn't participate at the level that I wished to participate in. And so, but feeling guilt around that didn't serve me. Okay. I learned you don't, you participate in whatever way works for you. And sometimes that participation, maybe it's just going to be mental. Maybe it's just going to be is spending 5 minutes a day writing in your journal, spending 5 minutes a day doing a long, deep breath. Okay. So it doesn't have to be like going hard on Kundalini yoga. But like this past spring equinox, we did a whole immersion. We went hard. Okay. This month right here, and I don't even summer solstice, like we did some stuff, but like I get we did some stuff, so I just forgot the whole in between. um what is time anyway? We did some stuff, and this month we're going hard because we can, because why not, because this is what I feel like doing, and you guys are along with my ride, because again, like, upgrades are inevitable in whatever way you participate. Okay. That's why I'm just holding events. I'm holding things. I'm doing things that feel really aligned, fun, and experimentational for me. And if you came to one mantra room, then that's amazing, and that's everything. Okay. And if you do everything I'm putting out there, and you participate in everything I'm offering, then wow, exponential. It's all exponential. It's exponential because when you decide that whatever you do is exponential. Okay. So it's like your exaltation is exponential anytime you decide that it is. And then it's done. You don't have to worry about it. But we like to do some things in here. So around these times, the main important theme is blocking out external nonsense, bullshit, narratives, norms, people, things, places, whatever, that isn't serving your personal preference and evolution and exaltation. Okay. Whatever isn't serving you, whatever you don't like, whatever you don't want, whatever is not what you want to be seeing, this is a time where we really get to just reject. And we should be doing this all the time, but, you know, real transformation, real quantum change internally requires a bit of a removal from the external. And it doesn't mean you hide in a cave and you don't do anything. You don't live life. It means you live life and your mind game is what's on point. So I use this reference all the time. You rehire, okay, you bring your contracted seasonal bodyguard, okay, your mental realm bodyguard that stands at the door and is not letting anybody in that isn't on the VIP list. Okay. Nope, you can't come in. Nope, you're not allowed in this club. Nope, you can't come in, and not letting anybody in that doesn't belong, not letting anybody, anything that doesn't belong, including your own bullshit and nonsense and old patterns, habits, thought forms, ways of being, versions of you that you are not no longer willing to dance and participate with anymore. You're over that timeline. You're over that situation. You're over that circumstance. That's another version of you that does exist in another reality, and you're not willing anymore to play around with, participate, or put any attention there anymore. Love and compassion, but no, that's not it anymore. Okay. The Alice doesn't live here anymore. That's not, I don't vibe with that version anymore. That's not me anymore. We're not doing that anymore. We're just not entertaining it anymore. That's done. So the VIP, the bodyguard is saying, no, you're not on the fucking list anymore. You're not on the list. Sorry, I know maybe you used to be on the list. You're not on the list anymore. Okay. And then how that relates to with people and the collective. Okay. Um, maybe there's people in your life like you have to deal with that aren't your favorite people to deal with. So I'll explain how we're going to deal with that stuff. But ultimately, and you can, it doesn't mean like shut off social media, turn off the phone, whatever, because here's the thing, you got to be able to handle that. A lot of people are like, just they get on the platform of social media to complain about social media, which to me that's the, okay. So it just shows me you can't handle it. Handling it is being able to see whatever's there and just being able to say, nope, I reject that. Nope, unfollow. Nope, that doesn't align for me. Nope, that's not something I want to keep seeing. Nope, that's not a person I need to be following. Nope, that doesn't serve me. That's not entertaining me. I'm not learning anything from that. I'm not pushing my boundaries. I don't, this isn't even a person I know, so I don't owe them anything by unfollowing them. Blocking if you need to. I also think blocking is a whole other weird sort of consciousness, because it just says you can't handle the thing. Okay. We do Kundalini yoga so we could handle whatever. That's the thing. We can handle whatever with grace and compassion and humor. So don't be all up on social media like social media is like falling, is making our society fall apart. No, I actually love it and I have a lot to gain and I enjoy it. So what am I doing differently than everybody that's talking it like that? I have a good relationship with myself. I have a good relationship with my mind, and I have a good relationship in understanding that I don't have to participate in anything I see in the external sphere, which is illusion anyway, meaning it's not everything we think it is. Okay. And I don't have contracts with anything going on out there, and I'm not giving my authority to anything out there. And if something actually bothers me that I see, then I know what to do to get right within me and heal that within me before I would like understanding that none of that has anything to do with me. Mostly what's happening out in the world has nothing to do with us. 99% has nothing to do. So the thing that one of the things that I want to say is, as we see, because this challenge, if you will, this is really a life stuff. This is beyond just Equinox, but I want us to really start practicing this if you're not already practicing something like this. Um, the macro that we see, you know, there's, again, when I say reality is finished, there are many realities that have been created already that will complete themselves. Okay. But there are billions, infinite potential realities to be in and to choose from. So we can choose what reality we want to be on. And when we see collective chaos and collective division and collective hatred and collective, really just a lot of gross, there's a lot of gross shit out there, like, honestly. Okay, so but when you see those things and you see tragedy and you see just some really disgusting things, honestly, you get to decide in every moment how you respond to it, and how you will then determine what that means for you. So are you going to believe everything you see out there and just take it as fact? Or are you going to decide what's true for you and your world and your life? Because we talk about it a lot as sort of our micro world, our own universe, our own kind of day-to-day sphere and reality creation of our own sphere. But that also relates, how we relate to our own sphere and then how we relate to the external world do go hand in hand in many ways. When every day we're deciding that everything works in my favor and my world takes care of me and there's love and compassion in my world and I have incredible relationships and I'm creative and I'm surrounded by incredible people. And even just when we moved into this year of Master of the Space, the supernal gold, and not having to wait for some golden age out there, could be in years, and just deciding, no, I live in the golden age now. I live in a golden age now. I don't have to wait for all these factors and things and whatever outside here to decide what my world is and what my life is. So when externally we see tragedy happening, we see real vile reaction and behavior of people that maybe we actually have known in our life, have had personal relationships with, or even just connected through community, and just really expressing themselves in the most vile, disgusting way you could even imagine, which we've seen a lot of that in the last 5 years, more so I think than maybe ever. You know, you get to decide, you get to either be the person, because there's people then that then get out there and complain about people being vile. And then there's people that can, are celebrating death of other people and celebrating demise of people, and just very hateful and gross. And then everybody's saying what they think they know the answer is, and this is the reason for this, and no, this is the reason for this. And this, it's like, it's just absolutely insanity. Okay. So, you can see all that, and you get to then decide, well, how do I relate to that? What am I deciding for me in moving forward in that? because you can, we're not meant to see every single tragedy of the world. And not every single tragedy of the world that maybe we're shown is actually even real. Okay. Or not necessarily real in every timeline. Okay. So, um, and there, because there's just so many things happening. Okay. So people that don't understand how reality works will maybe tell you that you're being cold, or maybe like, how can you not be angry about this? How can you not be sad and devastated about this? How can you not be, and that's the thing. It's like people trying to pull you into devastation, sadness, anger. How could you not be afraid of this? Let them. You do not have any responsibility to feel, react, or be how other people are feeling, reacting, and being, because it looks like a damn mess out there. Why would you even want to be what any of those people are being? Why would you want to be anybody else but yourself? That's the thing. That's part of these practices. That's part of the self-dignity. That's part of the self-trust, is I know so deeply who I am that I have no desire, and I've never had desire to be anybody else but me. I am Satnam. I am my true self. I just there you couldn't pay me to want to be anybody else. Okay. And if you're not there yet, you just keep doing these practices, because that's really the thing. It's like, I love myself and know myself so well that there's no, why be anybody else? I was made to be me. So what do you do? You can hold, love and compassion. And you can also then, because I did this yesterday, and I'm not going to talk about things going on in the world specifically, but yesterday, uh, something happened. Okay. But things happen every single day. But this particular thing that happened yesterday, I really felt about it, lovingly, compassionately. Um, it hit me. Okay. It hit my heart. It hit my soul. And I then, the reaction, and it's all really a template. Okay. It's all a template. It's all a broken record of how sort of the matrix kind of responds to things, which is thing happens. And then you have immediate breakdown of the thing that happened. Everybody must break it down. Everybody must say why it happened, who's to blame. People, saddened, devastated. People rejoicing and happy about it. People claiming to know the answers of everything. People must speak on it. People must, be an influencer on it. People must talk about why you should be compassionate, why you shouldn't be compassionate, how you should be, what you should be. And then everybody wanting to break down the astrology of the event, even to take it to that, like breaking down the astrology of the event. Oh, and it happened during this, but this is all within like an hours of something that just calls for maybe just a moment. Like, everybody slow your fucking roll. But this is how it works. This is the cycle. This is the cycle. And when you practice these practices, you don't get fooled by the cycle. You don't get entranced by the cycle, because you see that people are fooled, pulled into, tricked into the cycle. What is it all really? It's an energy harvest of one way or another. So if a thing happens in the external world on the macro, or even just in the external world, just in your personal world, it's the same thing, which is I reject every narrative, every cliche thing that anybody says about anything, whether it seems positive or not. It's cliche. It's cliche. It's everybody repeats saying the same repeated verbiage, good, bad, whatever, any angle of it. Okay. Like, how do I feel about this thing? I reject the narratives. I reject anything that anybody else is saying. I rarely resonate with anything anybody's saying. Okay. I have a hand. You can count on my hands, like who I really resonate with. Okay. I resonate with me. Okay. Who you resonate with? How do I feel about this thing? Okay. And then not getting locked into these blanket generalizations of where society's headed. Because that's another thing that's going to pull you in. That's a trick. It's all a fucking trick. That somebody, even if it sounds like it makes sense to you, or here's the thing, you're always, whatever belief that you lock into, whatever assumption that you lock into and give your agreement to, you're always going to see evidence of it on the micro and on the macro. If you say you're rich, if you say everything moves in my favor, everything always moves in my favor. If you lock into everything, no matter what it appears to be, no matter what it looks like, no matter what's happening right now, I know that no matter what, everything always moves in my favor and I always have victory no matter what. You hold that, you're going to always find evidence of that. But if you hold the narratives that are just, circulating around, society's fucked. Everybody's fucked. This is fucked. Like that, like that's fucked. This is fucked. Everybody, downfall of humanity. There's no humanity. Everything is, like the overlords have taken over. Like all of that shit. You can hear, you can decide and say, there is like whatever people want to lock into, that's on them. Let them love them and let them. Okay. But for me, there's always an abundance of love and compassion in my world. All I see is love and compassion. All I see is an abundance of love and compassion. That's all I see. All I see is love and compassion. So what am I going to see? Evidence of love and compassion. Doesn't mean things aren't happening, but what it means is I'm going to see more love and compassion. I'm not putting my attention on the vile people. I may have had a moment where I said, there's some vile people that I choose to unsubscribe, unfollow, that I don't need that in my realm. Like I'm not interested in having that in my realm. My VIP bodyguard said, nope, this is not on the list. This is not on the list. There's love and compassion in my world. My world is full of love and compassion. But how is my world filled with love and compassion? Because I hold love and compassion. I hold the love and compassion. I'm steady. I have the dignity. I have the steadiness. I won't be moved. Therefore, my world reflects steady, unmovable, compassion, love, optimism. And none of the, and I don't, and that's not ignoring, because I can still take a moment for a thing that maybe I felt in my heart and take a moment to honor that and do something that I feel my soul, myself needs to do to honor that event, tragedy, situation, whatever the thing is, macro, collective, or micro, just in my personal world or in within myself. So we don't, it's not about ignoring. It's about if something really hits me, I'm going to address that. I'm going to work with that. I'm going to work that out. And I'm going to put my own compassion, my own directed attention into into the healing of that moment. And if it comes up, I might take a moment and speak mantra and chant mantra and remind myself that I am one with infinite consciousness. I'm one with God. I'm steady. I'm unwavering. I cannot be moved. I'm gracious. I'm graceful. I have dignity. I have love. I am compassion. I am all those things. And therefore my external world must reflect that steadiness, that groundedness. And so sometimes we don't know what to say about all that stuff. So one of the practices that I use, just even like in a micro personal way. I have one relationship that, like, gets it kind of pushes my buttons a bit sometimes, and that's the relationship with my mom. And we have those. Like, I have an incredible relationship with my mom, but mom pushes the buttons. Mom reflects those little, still shows me, mom, that it shows me where my insecurities lie. It shows me where my doubts lie. It shows me where I could still be moved and triggered. It shows me those things so that I can address them. So I use it in that relationship, and I also use it in just bigger ways. And this is a very easy, and I've taught this to people directly, individually, and it's really a miraculous practice, which is, I am perfect. They are perfect. And all our interactions are perfect. So if it's like, nope, I'm perfect. If it's a person that you have a conflict with, a personal conflict, nope, it's like you have the conflict, you have the thing, and then instead of reeling about it afterwards, because that's generally what we do. We replay it. We replay it, and then what we would have said differently, and we like keep it going. We keep it alive. Okay, when we could just kill it and move into a completely new reality where that's actually like healed, done, resolved, and we can move forward. And it actually, there's no there you don't miss a beat, and everything is sort of up leveled and higher, more positive, and depending on the kind of seemingly severity of the thing, you you could really just move past that quickly. But any conflict, because I've also had another situation that has happened over the last year that um that is not, again, it's not my conflict, but it's bothered me. Okay. And so I use this often, like, I'm perfect, they're perfect, the whole situation is perfect. Okay, so I'm perfect, they're perfect, all of our interactions are perfect. I'm perfect, they're perfect, our relationship is perfect. We always, our interactions are always perfect. I'm perfect, they're perfect. And there's no, all the whole situation's perfect. So in the macro, you can use that with a particular person that maybe is like somebody that has exhibited vile behavior, that I'm just not even going to give it energy or more attention or focus. But it's like, I'm perfect, they're perfect, everything is perfect. I'm perfect, they're perfect. My world is perfect. The collective is perfect. And it's just an easy way to, it's just easy words, because what's perfect? Perfect is your ideal. And you could use it for things in your life. No, I'm perfect. My money's perfect, and everything about that is perfect. I'm perfect. The relationship, they're perfect. The relationship is perfect. I'm perfect. My health is perfect. Everything about my health is perfect. It's just easy. Like everything in my life is perfect. I'm perfect and everything in my life is perfect. It's just such an easy thing to repeat. And when something comes up, it's an easy thing to just say. And you can also just definitely throw a satnam in there because, again, the satnam is a purifier. So we could throw Satnam in there, but I'm perfect. They're perfect. Everything is perfect. I'm perfect. The collective is perfect. I'm perfect. The situation is perfect. I'm perfect. The society is perfect. I'm perfect. Social media is perfect. Again, perfect is your ideal, what you deem. You don't have to worry about it. It's like what you in your heart, your deepest desires, the way, what is your preference, like your grandest preference, your highest ideal, the best of the best, the way you want it, the way you wish it was. That's what's perfect. So it's perfect for you. And again, just by default, just by existing, just by being alive, you are perfect. So when you are doubting yourself, when you are questioning yourself, if you're getting on yourself, no, I'm perfection. I'm the highest ideal of perfection made manifest. I am perfection. I am perfection. No, I'm perfect. I'm perfection. Satnam. So you can, in moments of whatever external and also your own personal experience, decide how you want things to be. Decide in the moment, claim, no, my desired version of this is this. And you say it, claim it, write it down if you want to write it down. You could just say it, you can think it. No. And this is about anything that comes up that is not your desired reality, not your desired end. Okay. You have desires. What is your desired end? How do you think, what is your perfect life, perfect self, perfect health, perfect body, perfect finances, perfect relationship, perfect work, perfect clients, perfect sales? What are all the things that you want? What is your perfect? What is your end? What is the way you want things to be? Okay. Claim that those things are it now. You have it now. It exists now. It's this way now. No, this is the way it is now. I claim this now. And anything that comes up that is not that, that's pulling you off your game, you do not have to put your attention into it. You do not have to put any energy into it. You do not have to feel what some person that you don't even know out there is telling you to feel or be or do. Again, self-authority, self-sovereignty. You make your rules for your life, your universe, not the other way around. Do not be fooled. Do not be pulled in. Do not be guilted. Do not be anything. You're the one calling the shots of your life. If you decide nothing has authority or power over you unless you grant it. So if you grant it, you're going to be flip-flopped around by somebody else. And if in a moment you get flip-flopped around by somebody else, you realize it, you say, nope, nope, it's this way. This is the way it is. This is my ideal. And if you don't want to even get into all that, you just say, nope, I'm perfect. They're perfect. Like let them, they're perfect. Let them love them. They're perfect. I'm perfect. And everything is perfect. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Like really be very conscious and meticulous and just really on ourselves in that practice. Going into the equinox, after the equinox, and just like keep up, like keep up with that. Make that just part of your life because again, when you make this a practice, maybe it'll feel hard at first. Maybe it's hard for you to say I'm perfect. I know people. I've worked with people. It's very difficult for them to say, I'm perfect. What are you doing? You are challenging every external imprint that is ingrained in you. Familial, societal, religious, whatever the thing is, we've literally been programmed against that. But you're creation of God. You're perfect. You're perfection. I'm not saying like and again, and I don't think that anybody in here is taking it as this. Saying I'm perfect is not like a, like it's not a hall pass to be a trash person. Okay. And then just say, no, I'm perfect. You know what I'm saying? Nobody in here is doing that. There are people in the world that use they use things to manipulate, but I'm not even going to get into that. We're not doing that in here, okay? We're not trash people. We're here because we want to elevate ourselves and we want to just be elevation for other people. That doesn't mean you have to be that doesn't mean you have to be a Kundalini teacher or meditation teacher or a coach or anything of that nature. It doesn't mean you have to be in a position in your life where you're a leader in position or something, or vocally speaking and teaching people how to elevate. It just means just by you being like, I just want to elevate and I just want to be the light that I already am. And then just people around you feel that that's the power of it. Just by intention of everywhere I go, anybody that touches my sphere is elevated. Anybody I walk by on the street is elevated. Anybody that sees a post from me, gets a text from me, gets an email from me, listens to sees something I did, anybody I meet, they're just naturally elevated just by being in my presence, just by hitting something I touched. Just, I walk in the room and the room lights up. Not like not like as a for me everybody lights up and like, like not like a validation. It's just like, no, I know I walk in the room and the light and the shit lights up. The shit elevates. Why? Because I'm a fucking light. Why? Because that's what I'm just here to do and be, even if I'm in a shitty mood, even if something's annoying me, which the more I practice, the less and less I even am, because I laugh at myself. I get annoyed and in 1 second, and the next second I'm laughing at how ridiculous I am, because what does it really matter? I'm seeing, you see bullshit out there. What does it really matter? What am I going to get annoyed about with somebody I don't even know personally? And even people I know personally. Am I really going to hold that? No. You know, you're angry, do fists of anger. Get over it. Move it through you. Don't hold it, because, then it's going to just hold in the organs in the system. It creates anger, resentment, fear, more than anything, create sickness and disease in the body. So why hold on to that? It's not yours, especially if it's not yours, especially if you're riding a wave of what somebody else told you to do, to be, to have, what somebody else told you is happening, what somebody else told you is going on, what somebody else says is the thing. Because who says? How do they know that's the facts, that's the truth? How do they know? How does anybody know fucking anything? So you get to decide if you believe something or not, or believe somebody or not, or take let people think and believe whatever they want. Who cares? What does it have to do with you? Nothing. You are the law of your world. You are the law. You make the laws. You make the rules. You get to decide And then your outer world will show you more evidence of that. We're living in this algorithmic matrix reality, quantum physics, molecular, energetic, vibrational experience that's like a million things. So whatever you focus on, whatever you put your attention on, whatever you then keep repeating with jap. We say jap because you repeat the mantra, you repeat the positive habit, you repeat the positive thought. And because every moment creates a new future, every now is zero and creates from there. So the more we just lock into, nope, I'm perfect. Nope, everything's perfect. Nope, they're perfect. No, my relationships are perfect. The society's perfect. Everybody's perfect. Everything is perfect. There's all I see is love and compassion. All I see is like, things that inspire me and enliven me and, light me up. And, no, that's not true. That's not real. I reject that. It's this way for me. No, it's this way. No, I'm this. I'm this. I'm rich. I'm infinite. I'm healthy. I'm beautiful. I'm graceful. I'm gracious. I'm steady. I'm infinite. I'm unwavering. I'm radiant. I'm the cure. I am the cure. And you just keep repeating that.